and welcome to another Thursday interview here on Viking.TV with me and Diamond. Well, today, as you can see, I'm out and about in London. You look behind me, this is Sloane Square in London. Used to be one of the favourite places of Princess Diana, where all the posh shops are, all of the wonderful designer dresses and outfits, and something very special indeed, and that's where I'm going today. This is the home of one of the designer eyeglass specialists. He's called Tom Davies. He's got a business just off here. Mind you, he's got lots of businesses throughout the world. And he's becoming very, very well known in the fashion industry, in the film industry, for what he can do with your face, not with a facelift, but with the right pair of glasses. He is incredible. He can work wonders, and he promises he's going to work wonders with me. Frankly, he doesn't need to bother convincing me because he works wonders with some of the top A-listers in the world. He is already working on some of the biggest movies on the planet, designing eyewear for all of the characters and people on the movie set. So, with no more ado, let me introduce you, in this special Viking Fashion Week, to somebody who can literally change your image just by putting on the right pair of glasses. Tom Davies.
Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what frames suit your face. So I'm going to invite you to just accompany me around the store while I just try on 2 or 3 styles just to see what works, and then I'm going to shop for you. I'm going to pull out every frame in the store which looks good on you.
So I'll go for what I would automatically go for if I were choosing a pair of sunglasses.
No, you're all under my...
Under your instructions?
Yes, under my instructions is not really the word, but I am taking care of everything at this stage. So let's go and have a look around the frames.
Right ahead.
I'm just going to see what sorts of styles and shapes suit you. Quick one on and off. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
You don't like that, do you?
No, it's not that. It's a slightly flat frame. It's a bit of a cat eye, the gold. That's the next one, thank you.
I never know what sort of face needs, good outline in dark colours like you've got, or whether you go John Lennon and almost go totally subtle.
It's all the science of it, and it is a science, is actually what do you want to project about yourself. So at this stage, because I know you, and I don't know, we've just met, but I know you because you're on the telly.
It's a bit Edna Everett, aren't they?
What I like about this frame is I like the colour. It's a little bit too big, but
you like the colour on this?
I do like the colour. It's a little bit too big. It sits a bit low on your face. Let me just try one more style on, which I haven't had. I want something with a bit of drama. Let's have a quick look at this.
Yeah. Cat's eyes.
You should suit a cat eye.
No.
Well, I think you will, but let's get rid of that one.
Okay.
There's too much drama there. Okay. Do me a favour. Have a sit down. Give me 3 or 4 minutes. I will literally...
And you're going to pick some out that you think. Just from that?
Yes. So there's a lot of frames here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split these into categories, okay? So we've got some of these cat eyes, and I pulled out a lot of cat eyes. And then we've gone for these frames, which are slightly masculine, which I think look quite good on you. I don't know why I put that round frame in. So I don't want that one either. I want to see this one. And that's in my cat eye pile.
Oh my God, you've got a lot of cat... You see, I bought cat's eyes ones off the internet for sunglasses. Okay. And they look really good on this model, obviously, modelling them on the internet. But I didn't like them at all, and they were very cat's eyes. I just thought I looked so pretentious in them.
I don't think you can... There's cat eye and there's cat eye. I want to look at the sort of the line of your eyebrow. It just slightly upsweeps there. So it doesn't have to be a full-on cat eye. I might start a cat eye, but calm it down. But for example, this is the first frame I tried on you. I rather like that. I'm not sure about the colour, because you've got sort of beautiful greeny brown eyes.
Green brown, yeah.
And I'm not sure that clashes a little bit with this colour here, but I could change the colour quite easily. I quite like the rose gold on there, but you're wearing yellow gold, you're wearing silver. Maybe it'd be better to be a normal gold and not a rose gold. So colour we can play with. But this is got a little bit of arch there. So what I would probably do is just almost like tweak this up. So you just see that. So I'll be tweaking that up a little bit just to give it a little bit of arch to go with your brow line. So it's the relationship between the two. So if you're not comfortable with a full-on cat eye, no problem.
There's a subtlety.
Yes, it's just a subtlety in there. So what I've got is I've got glamour And I've got some beautiful stuff here. And then I've got these sort of slightly more calmed down versions. Oh dear, I have too many cat eyes. So what we're going to do is, so I have my categories. I'm going to put that into there. And that's there into there. I'm going to get that like that. And, okay, this is, realistically speaking, there's a lot of cat eyes. And then these are slightly still cat eye-ish. Okay, so what I'm going to do, there's still too many frames here for us to look at.
Yeah.
What I want to do is I'm going to now whiz through these, and I'm going to, because you haven't tried these on, and I'm going to get rid of the ones that I don't want,
right, okay.
and then we'll be down to a more reasonable level. So it's just on and off.
So I don't get a mirror, this is just for you?
Correct, yeah, just very quickly, just for 2 seconds. Okay, let me have that back.
Oh, right.
That was it. It's too heavy, too bold, don't like it. You see, I'm going to show you that. We're not going to do that. I actually made that for Emma Stone for Cruella. And it's too...
Cruella, great, thank you.
It is a
now
bit...
you see those...
Oh, no, she was a goodie.
Oh, she was a goodie then.
Yeah.
Oh, now you see those, no, not those, it's the next ones, I automatically liked when you put them down because they've got a strong cross frame.
There's a bit of glamour in it. This frame is one of my best sold frames. I'll show you, this is a nice frame. I'll hold that back. We're going to use that one. If you put this frame on, this is one of the ones we talked about. You see that gap at the top?
Oh, there shouldn't be a gap.
You don't want a gap, but you want it to have a nice even fit, and also you can see the position it's going to be at, and also how comfortable it feels. Okay. It's not bad. That's terrible. Okay, give me 1 second. That's no good as well. Now I've seen that one. No. I'm trying to get, I have this magic number of 3. I'm trying to get to 3 choices for you. That, otherwise it's too overwhelming. Right, and I've actually got 2 choices. So, which one do you like?
Just a few.
All I want you to talk about is that bit on your nose. So that one, or that one?
That one.
This one?
I think so.
Okay, just double check. I'm going to do a
Don't
little...
know why.
Okay. I want you to tell me which one makes you feel happier.
That feels good.
This, I like this
That's the
as
one
well.
I thought, when you picked that out, I thought, I quite like the look of it, but I don't know whether it's going to suit me, but I like the,
No, it does.
the strong crossbar.
It is. It's really nice. It goes with the angles of your face. There's a natural line of your face with triangular angles, and it goes really nicely against your brow line. So I like everything about that. This is a glamorous frame. I would have this in your glasses wardrobe, but we'll talk about glasses wardrobes in a little bit.
So Tom, how did this all start? How did you get to be who you are today?
What, a spectacle designer?
Yeah. I mean, who would ever think that at school? I'm going to be a spectacle designer.
Well, not me, certainly. My degree is in art and design, and I was doing fine art and paintings and wonderful stuff like that. Yeah. And I got a degree and left the UK because I wanted to go on an adventure. And I wanted to go to Hong Kong because it was 97 and it was the handover. I thought, I'm going to work there for 6 months. Mm. And I got offered a job designing glasses. I didn't really want it because it's specky 4 eyes. I didn't like glasses. And my boss, who became my boss, he said to me, Tom, he says, glasses are the most important design area there is because it defines your face. He says, I don't know what shoes you're wearing, I don't know what watch you're wearing. He says, it's the most important area of design. I just thought, yeah, it's true. I'd never thought
it's the immediate impact, isn't it?
It defines you. It's like, it's everything about you. And people get it so wrong. And what I loved about my job very early on is, I thought, well, I just enjoyed, I think I enjoyed the impact it had on people. Mm. When you got it right and saw how they looked good and how they smiled and how you had this massive impact on somebody, that was intoxicating and I loved it.
Mm. You say, when you get knocked out immediately when you see somebody who's got it right. And actually, yes, you come away with a different opinion when somebody's got it so wrong.
I mean,
how could they go out in those?
I see people, the average person spends 7 minutes choosing their eyewear.
7 minutes?
Yeah, so you think you're in the optician for ages, but you're actually in the opticians having your eyes tested for 15, 20 minutes, then there's waiting around, then they're sitting there, and then there's that moment where you're actually walking around and choosing frames, and you're often choosing on your own, and sales assistant will say, this looks good or that looks good. And you sort of try a few things. You think, oh, that'll do. I've got to get out here. And then you walk out of there having spent very little time choosing something which will define you for the next 2 years.
Yes, probably more than your earrings or your lipstick or even your hairstyle, certainly than your clothing. And you spend so long just choosing those things.
I mean, people, it's almost like common sense goes out the window when people choose their eyewear. You know, because if you want to be a successful spectacle wearer, there's 2 golden rules. Well, 3 actually, I'm going to give you 3. 1, take somebody with you, because you need to make sure the power dynamic is on your side. Because if you go on your own, they're going to want to sell you something, and don't blame them, but that's what, you know, that's what we have to do. Yeah. So if you're on your own, you lose, you need the reinforcements. Second thing, take your time. You know, this is going to define you for years. Shop around. You've had your eye test here, look around elsewhere. I'll take that, no problem. Any good optician will say the same thing. Don't compromise because you think, well, this will do. And the third thing is, make sure it makes you feel good when you put them on. It's like, if you don't feel good, it's not a, you know, you want this to be an accessory. Yes. So you've got to ask yourself, do I feel good in this? Because it's totally unnecessary to not love your glasses. Everyone can love their glasses.
So gradually you became convinced of that, and so you thought, this is something I want to do. But how do you even get started, and how do you become this?
Well, I was, funny enough, day one, I sat down in my office, a big empty office that the boss had given me at this factory, and there's literally just a desk. I thought, what the hell am I going to do? And I went down to little newsagents in Hong Kong on the high street, and I was looking for anything sort of I could relate to, and there's a copy of Vogue. Yeah. And I picked up the copy of Vogue, and I went back to my office, and I'm looking through all these models, and there's one big model on the front. I can still see it in my head, and I sketched a pair of glasses on her. And then I thought, okay, that looks good. And then I opened up this software on this PC, and I thought, well, I better teach myself AutoCAD. And I designed it. It took me about a week to design this frame. And then I went to their factory, and we sat down, and we tried to make these glasses. And, you know, that whole process, it sounds obviously quite quick when I say it, but it probably was taking like 2 to 3 months.
Yes, but also you've got the training in art and design that you've already done.
Well, I was a creative person, but there's no training for what I do. So, you know, what I would end up doing is I go down, when I first got into Hong Kong, the first 2 weeks, I was working in a bar just so I could eat, basically, and pay the rent. And I would go back to the bar, I made friends there, and I'd go back and I'd take my designs in, and I'd put them on people, and it upset me because they didn't look good on them. And I thought I wasn't a very good eyewear designer, so I strived to be better. But what I realized after not very long is there was nothing wrong with me, the glasses I was making. It's just that people don't really suit glasses, because everyone's face is so different. Yes. So, you know, your nose is different, you know, your brow line is different, your hair shape is different, your taste is different, your personality is different. The chances of you going into an optician's and picking out the absolute spot-on frame are quite low. You know, I get around that by making it bespoke. So you can buy off the shelf. Half my sales, people might pick up a frame, half of the sales, they'll love it and they'll walk away. The other half, we have to remake it for them. And so I was doing that without realizing there was a business there for my friends and my family. I'd come home from Hong Kong with these glasses to see my mum, and I'd say, try these on, and I'd go a bit bigger there and a bit wider there. And then I'd come home and do something like with my dad, and I'd say, oh, this would be great in this green color. And I'd go back to the factory, and I said to my boss, these cost $40 to make in the factory. Can I make them? And I'd give him the $40. And I did that for about a year.
While you're playing with shapes and faces?
Well, learning and building collections, and the factory in Hong Kong was selling to people all over, brands, and brands would come and get my frames, that also annoyed me a little bit, and put their logo on the side. And after after a year or so of doing that, I thought, wait a minute, there's money to be made making bespoke glasses. So I moved to London. I set up a little boutique-y place in Pimlico, and I called it Tom Davies, because that's me. And I started designing a collection, and I can show you. I had to recreate it. Yeah. This is the very first Tom Davies frame.
Wow!
And so I designed that frame, and I gave it to an optician in Pimlico. I made 5 pieces, and I gave it to an optician in Pimlico, and I said, can you tell me if anyone likes these? So bear in mind, this is like...
Do you know, they are rather nice.
Well, it's year 2000. The styles were a little bit different then. But it's simply like these. I gave them 5 pieces because that's what the factory could make for me. I make 1, make 5, same price.
And they look classy.
Well,
Did they go down well?
I went back a week later and I said, what was the feedback? How did it go? She goes, oh yeah, I sold those, can I have some more?
Woo.
And that was it.
Yeah.
I'm in business.
That's enough to get you started,
Yeah,
isn't
that was it. So I
because
had the confidence.
It's an expensive business, as you were telling me before. It's an expensive business just to be in, because these things, especially the bespoke ones particularly, take a long time to make and take a lot of people to make them.
They do. It's, I mean, the world's changing. You know, when I started, you know, everything was made in China. But as I've grown my business, my factory's now in London. But the only way I can make it economical is by deconstructing the manufacturing process. And so that you have people that work in little sections and they just get really good at doing 2 or 3 things, then it moves on. And that way I can make it affordable. And we make thousands of bespoke frames a month. But it's kind of a combination of technology, old school craft, and the internet. So we use a lot of programs we've developed to just sort of organize, and but it's my life's work, 20 years work. You know, if you try to turn it on tomorrow, I don't know, you couldn't do it. We've grown into it. You know, we've got, you know, temple arms that are sort of pre-made in various different sizes. I don't know how you'd start from day one on doing that. So I've got it all sort of worked out, and it works, but it's complicated. It is expensive. I mean, but price is also something that people get wrong with eyewear. You know, if you buy glasses off the internet, good luck, you know, no problem at all. But, I mean, you compare that to what we've done with Bespoke and the amount of detail we've gone into it. Now, if you're going to wear it on your face every day for a couple of years, you know, 20...
I was just going to say, a lot of ladies wouldn't balk, really, at spending 1,000 or 2,000 or more on an evening dress that they're probably only going to wear once or even twice in the year. And you're wearing these every day. And they are saying something straight away to everybody, aren't they? They're first impressions.
It's first impressions, and people won't look at you and go, my God, you've got good glasses on. It's so subconscious. They'll look at you, the person, and they take into account the entire package. The fact that you're wearing great glasses will just reflect on your overall person.
Who is the person who strikes you, I'm thinking of famous celebs now, who strikes you most as, wow, I mean, they look just fantastic, and they've always been glasses wearers. I mean, I always think of Sophia Loren. I mean, that woman just looked wonderful, and her glasses just added to the glamour.
I mean, Audrey Hepburn for me was one of my early inspirations. I mean, she was the first sort of person to wear glasses, also indoors and on film, and especially even sunglasses indoors. You know, it was all about this sort of show and glamour. And I love looking back at some of the old sort of 50s and 60s movies and seeing eyewear. I think actually they did it a lot better than they do it today.
Well, you think of the posters for Audrey Hepburn movies, and she's often in glasses, which was something that was quite unusual at the time, because as you said, that, you know, you were called Specky Four Eyes if you wore glasses. So in one way it was seen as something not done, and in the other way it was incredibly glamorous.
Well, the thing is, you have to remember that everybody over the age of 50 needs glasses, right? It's just across into a whole world. You have a prescription problem. You know, 90% of people over the age of 40. So if you take the fact that everybody actually is going to need eyewear, it's still surprising, certainly to me, that glasses are hated. Is probably the right word. You know, it's like people don't like their glasses because they slip down. They pinch their side of the head. They give people headaches. They give them distortions. They feel trapped. They fog up, especially at the moment. But all of it is totally and utterly unnecessary, because, when I explain this to people as follows, but you do like wearing your sunglasses, don't you?
Yes.
Everyone likes wearing their sunglasses. And that's because sunglasses will, you know, they'll bring symmetry to the face. So I do the same thing with glasses.
Because that's the other person, isn't it? Jackie Kennedy and her glasses. Or, again, gave her an air of secrecy as well, but always made her face look very well chiselled, very well shaped.
Well, there's a certain amount of protection as well that a big pair of glasses gives you as sunglasses, but the same thing can happen with a big pair of black eyewear. You know? For me, personally, if I don't have my glasses on, I feel a bit naked, you know, I don't feel like me, and I feel a bit exposed. Now I've got my glasses on, you know, and if you've got, you know, if you've got the right frame, and it can make you feel good. as opposed to, I don't like these glasses.
And are there rules to that? I mean, if you've got a V-shaped face, should you always wear a strong crossbar? If you've got, I don't know, a big nose or a John Lennon type face, should you wear little Lennon type glasses?
There are all sorts of rules which are total and utter rubbish. There are rules which really work, which I've spent my career making, and I can tell you really a couple of golden rules, and there's a little sub-rules. I tell you, I'll show you a fun one. Let me go and grab a keyhole bridge frame.
Keyhole bridge frame.
Okay, let me show you this. Right, I'm going to describe this frame. So, this is a big mistake. So this is a big mistake that people often make when they're buying glasses. This has got what's called a keyhole, because it's got this sort of shape like a key.
Oh, yes.
And what happens is, when you've got a big nose, this will fit you. But it's the worst thing you can do with a big nose, because see here I've got my nose there. So there I've got my nice little nose, and now I'm going to put on this. And
it emphasises that
got a big, long
it gives
nose
you a
there.
big nose.
Yeah.
It does.
So I don't really have a big nose, but if you've got a big nose, your optician is going to use this because it's the only thing they think is going to fit.
But actually, it's going to make the
worst thing you
bigger.
can do. There are loads of tricks like that.
Oh, that's interesting. So tell me about, I mean, you've recently been sort of pulled into the world of movies because I think the movie makers have realised how important their characters are if they have really super glasses. And it says something, it does something to their whole image. What movies have you been pulled into and who have you done?
I've done almost all the A-listers you could fantasize about. So, you know, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And
have you done them privately or for movies?
Just for movies.
Oh, right.
So you get called in to the film set. Actually, the conversation started long before. And typically, I get a call from either a prop master or a costume director that I know, or somebody new who's heard about me from somebody else. So yeah, it's for example, we were just talking before we came in. I did the Cruella movie for Disney, and I made every single lead character in that film, but also I think I did about 40 extras.
They're wearing your frames.
All wearing. So the idea, because I was saying to the costume director, you do realise that in the 1970s, everybody is wearing glasses.
Yes.
And if you look around in the movie on all the sets,
because of course that was pre-contact lenses, pre-laser surgery or anything. Everybody had to wear glasses.
Everyone had to wear glasses. Yeah.
So for a movie, the glasses have got to say something about the character.
Well, I've heard this so many times from costume directors. They say glasses in movies is a pain in the arse. Sorry, pain in the neck, because it's so difficult. Because I will spend an hour with someone to make one frame.
Yeah.
So you imagine you've got 20 cast members. If you want them all to wear glasses, it's very hard to accommodate everybody, and they also need prescription. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So they invariably end up wearing no glasses.
Yeah.
With Cruella, because it's set in the 70s, and I made this comment that everyone in the movie needs to wear glasses. She says, "What, you're going to do? You're going to make glasses for everyone?" I said, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
And so what I did is I became a partner on the movie with Disney. So that was a real thrill for me. And I spent a good year working on it with all the different cast members. And what I really loved about having this is because I do lots of little movies. I do lots of key people in movies, right? And I do three a year, and they're all the famous ones you can imagine. But for Cruella, it was like you have this character transition. So Emma Stone, for example, she starts off really nice and open and friendly, and she becomes this sort of evil person who makes Dalmatian skin coats.
Yes.
And so, I was able to achieve that in the eyewear. So again, talking to them, I said,
so if we look at the movie, you'll see a transition in the eyewear as well.
Yes, so she wears 3 frames. And she starts off with them big, round and open, and that's sort of approachable and soft in a brown. Yeah. And she ends up wearing this sort of cat eye, which is a little bit more severe, which is this one here.
Yes.
Which we actually looked at for you.
Also.
Yeah,
yes,
so it's sort of
I know, I'm a bit worried about
moving into it. And so that was nice, but again, even like Emma Thompson, her character, Cruella, the Baroness, she starts off very strong and domineering, And by the end of it, when she's getting a bit rattled and shaken, we've changed the frame as well. So you'll see again a transition of, and it's very subtle. But it's what I do in real life.
It's what makeup artists would do with the face.
Yes, absolutely. So there was a big tie-in with L'Oreal, I think it was, did the makeup for the film, and this was really kind of exciting to be part, at the table with all these big partners. But it was, what I was pleased about is I was talking to costume director Jenny Bevan about these ideas, and she was saying, "Oh, that's great, like we'll do it." And I'm thinking, my God, this is Disney. I mean, when they gave me the script, I'm thinking, "You're giving me the script?"
No, really? What do I do with this?
So and I went through literally the script and I wrote a little note about the glasses on each scene. So then I started and used that to create it forward. It was really good fun.
Do you get a credit in the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
It's like one of my bucket list things. I remember sitting there right at the end of it, and it's there, Tom Davies at the end.
Oh, that's how. I'll stay till the end now and watch all the credits.
That was a good one. And it's not really secret anymore, but it's almost secret. But if this goes out, it's going to go out. I'm going to tell you as much as I dare.
Yeah, cool.
But I've also made the glasses for Matrix 4.
The Matrix 4,
yes.
Keanu Reeves and everybody.
Yes. So that's coming out in December. And
brilliant.
I mean, Matrix.
Because when I think of it, all the characters wear strong glasses, or
it's all about the eyewear.
Yes.
They're bold. When you go into Matrix, you wear sunglasses.
Yes.
So
yes, that's true. Of course you do.
It's like the film is almost like an advert for my brand.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's going to be insane. I can't wait.
You're building a name in the movie world then, clearly. We've already built it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the good thing about Matrix is the IP of that's going to touch over 1 billion people. So very soon there'll be 1 billion people who are...
Oh, I'll get my glasses now while you're still even remotely affordable. Oh, how brilliant. You said at the very beginning that you sort of started learning your business by opening a copy of Vogue and drawing glasses on the models and seeing what would work and what wouldn't. Can I do a little quiz with you almost?
Yes.
See if you can still do that.
Okay.
Because I've brought some, I didn't bring a magazine, but I brought some photographs of certain well-known people.
Okay. I've not done Jennifer Aniston.
You've not done it, have you not? Oh, right, okay. Well, let's see what you would make of her. Felt tip pen.
Okay.
Now, I got you I thought of this all through. Hang on if I can. I've got a slightly more refined one and a really big, thick one.
Okay.
What would you do with Jennifer?
I'm going to go for one of my lens marking pens.
Yeah. Oh, yes, because that's something you know.
What would I do here? Well, so basically...
Now, you see, she's got very strong eyebrows, arching again, but she's got a longer face.
The interesting thing about Jennifer straight away is I can see she's got very similar features to you. So she's got this 3/4 arched brow, and then she's got a hair and a side parting.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have an arched eyebrow like that, you almost always will have your hair and a side parting. And you'll notice that now I've said it, you will notice it.
I will look for it now.
And you look for it. Yeah. If you've got, I call them rainbow eyebrows. If you've got round eyebrows, you'll be pulling your hair, tying it back. Okay, so you've got this sort of round shape. If you've got a flat brow, you'll probably have fringe, or Americans call it bangs.
Yeah, bangs.
So you have a lot of ladies who have like a flat brow line, they'll have bangs. If they've got an eyebrow like this, they'll have a side parting. And the only time that doesn't work for women is when women have faked their eyebrow line.
Yes.
And they haven't quite caught up to because it's a very subconscious thing.
Yeah.
It's the same for men though. I've got a slightly 3/4 brow line, that's why I wear a side parting.
What do you do then with people like Claudia Winkleman, who a lot of people might know of Strictly Come Dancing, huge programme in Britain. I'm sure it's probably
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. But she wears her hair right down here and cuts her bangs right across there. So I don't think you can ever see her eyebrows.
So,
how do you fit glasses for somebody like that?
So if you look, so I would follow that frame. So for her, she's going to look great in a big square black frame. And that's going to look fantastic on her. You have to follow the frame of whatever you can see. So this is your number one rule. This is your brow line, and that will define the frame number one. Frame number two is the side, well, whatever shape hair will reflect from this. Yeah. And then frame number three is what you put on. So you have to take into account those frames.
Talk to each other.
So so if I've got Jennifer. Okay, so let's have a look. Well, I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her a cat eye. I'm going to do it just below. Oh, you know what? Your pen's going to be better.
Yeah, it's very, very big and thick.
I'm going to give her a cat eye just below. And you know what? This is such a great idea that no one's ever done, and I'm slightly nervous, but I think it's working. Okay, so I'm giving her something. Like I don't want it to be too heavy, because, but she's got quite strong features. Let me give it a little bit of boldness at the top. I don't want to lose her eyebrows, which I've just sort of done by accident.
No, but she obviously loves her eyebrows.
But this is very similar to what I would make for you for the same sort of reasons.
Yes, she looks nice. Shall I show you what she does wear?
Go on then.
Be interesting to see how similar. Gosh, very similar.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
It's not bad.
Very similar.
She's got this. It's a slightly more masculine. So I think that's a great frame for her. It's slightly more masculine than what I've done.
Yeah.
But I would have that in my wardrobe.
Well, I was going to say she's got a wardrobe because I've seen her in more subtle, smaller type glasses as well.
Yeah.
But
That's
that is
pretty good.
very, very.
That's pretty good.
All right, would you like to do another?
Go on then.
Oh, have a go at Oprah.
You see, Oprah can wear anything because she's got big, powerful hair. And so when I say anything, no, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
She can't wear wiry, thin things or rimless or anything like that very easily.
No, they'd be lost on her face.
You know what, she does wear rimless. I've seen her wear rimless, but they're really quirky and it's a brand called Gotti. They've got a really chunky bit on the side. But, so what I've got in my frame is I've got this round sort of shape there, but she's got an arched eyebrow.
Yeah.
Okay? So she's probably, if I'm really, and this is what I think, you should probably find if you looked at a natural brow line, it would actually be like that.
Yeah.
I think you can
might
see,
arch them a bit.
well, you can see where, you can see where it should be.
Where the skin gets a bit lighter. Yeah.
So it's probably more like, my guess is it's probably more like that, but she's gone for a bit more of a feminine brow. Nevertheless, I've got this big frame, and that's such a strong frame, the roundness there. I'm going to give her quite a big, bold, I'm going to give her a keyhole bridge, just because. Have you got a picture of her wearing glasses then? Oh dear. All right, so I've seen, but the thing is, she wears loads of different frames.
Yes, I bet she does.
So I'm going to give her something like that.
Yeah. It's got to be strong because she's got a strong face,
But
and
she
we
does
know
wear
it so
rimless,
well.
though.
Oh, that's interesting too.
There we go, I'm not too bad.
No, you're not too bad at all.
Hey, not bad that, is it?
No, that really is that make you feel good? That's good.
I'm slightly
Oh,
relieved
there you
now
are.
I'm feeling
You
good.
can design for Oprah. Now, Richard Gere is an interesting one because I sort of never imagine him wearing glasses, but he does.
Well,
although he obviously chooses when not to.
Well, I would say for him, I need a thinner pen. Have you got one of these, a new one? I'm gonna try it with a biro. I'll give me a thin. Just see if this will work. I need a thinner black pen. Okay. So, Mr. Gere, he's got a more masculine flat brow. So we're out the reign of cat eyes. You see that sort of flat brow, but look at that flat hairline.
Yes.
Okay, so the two things, it's just the way you brush your hair, the way it's cut over the years, they become the same thing. So your hairstylist, I don't know whether they're sitting there saying, well, you've got an arched eyebrow, let's do your side part. I just think people know what looks good for them. They go and they ask for what they feel as they've evolved into. So that is following my rules. He's got quite thin eyes. I want to open them up, so I want them to be a bit big. But I kind of think this needs to be a metal frame. But whatever it's going to be sort of thin. And I'm going to go almost straight across, a little dip there. I mean, colour plays I'm trying to do these black here. I would want this to be a sort of a
metallic, would you?
Yeah, I think it's hard to do what I want to do with this thick pen, but shape-wise, that's not quite what I want. But what have you?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
That's him younger, I think.
That's a rimless frame.
It is a rimless frame.
It's not bad. It's sitting too low, but it's him younger. But it doesn't do him any favours at all.
No, it doesn't. And I think I've seen him more recently in ones that are much more your shape.
Yeah, I mean, let me draw a little bit more on this. If I was doing him, I would give a little bit stronger. And
You haven't dressed Richard Gere for anything then?
no, not yet.
Not yet.
I did get a phone call from a very famous chef yesterday, but he's not signed up yet.
Oh, right.
No, forget that.
Yeah. Okay.
But
No, Richard, you got it wrong. Now, here is somebody you actually have done.
yes.
But I wonder if you can show us the principles of how you might have advised him.
Well, I mean, I made Ed a lot of glasses. He has not just a wardrobe, he has a grand wardrobe,
Does he?
But on the same principles. There's probably 3 different shapes in there, and they do different things.
Yeah.
So I've got a really bold, straight across frame, which he wore a lot for a long time, and that's probably what I'll sketch for you.
Yeah.
And then he's had a nice round frame, which you see, he's got a very strong brow line here.
He's got such an interesting face.
Yeah, but he's got a strong flat brow, and then he has his hair down in bangs.
Yeah.
So again, exactly showing my rules that they work in real life.
Yeah.
He wanted a round frame, and I didn't want to give him a round frame, but I ended up flattening the top off. So
Because I look at his face and I think he's got hair all over the place very often. I mean, he goes for that look.
Yeah.
But glasses could give him a complete structure to the face that, frankly, his own personal face doesn't give. That's not a terribly awkward way of putting it, but you know, he needs a bit of structure in that face, and you could give it to him.
yeah, I mean, look, he's the thing is, when you're as charismatic as Ed Sheeran, you can do whatever you like.
Exactly.
But what I did is I've got 2 frames for him. I'll draw the first sort of look for him. I'll just draw it to the side here. It's a really sort of strong, flat shape like this, which he wears on covers of magazines and when he's sort of dressed up.
That very strong crossbar at the top.
And that works really well with his hair. But the frame that he wears the most is it's more round, and it's actually. I bet you've got a picture of this, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah. Is he wearing the round one?
I don't know. I've got to double check now.
He wears the round one, but what I did is I flattened off the top. So round, it gives a certain sort of style. It's a bit retro.
Yes.
And it's not the easiest thing with this pen, but basically it's kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, a bit bodgy.
We sort of
but yeah,
that, actually. Those of us who know his face well.
That's his preferred sort of look.
And then look, we've cut you out of that picture, but Ed's in it.
There you go.
And that's a pair of yours.
It's a good job I'm not wearing the same jacket. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just.
Well, good. Oh, you're obviously used to his face now, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, he was very gracious to let me take my photo with him. I don't like doing that when I have famous people in, but it was Ed Sheeran.
Oh, he's like that, though. It's Ed Sheeran, absolutely. Now, this lovely, lovely lady is Karina, who is the chief of Viking Cruises, right? She's everything that matters in Viking Cruises, particularly in Viking television. And we all love her dearly. And I haven't got her permission yet, so we might have to cut this out if she does. If she says, no, I don't want glasses. But what would you do with her face?
Okay, so she is got bangs, and she's got a slightly flat brow, which is why, I mean, if you ever wanted to, you know, when I started telling you my rules, you know, literally everyone is fixed in there. However, she could have a slight arch onto that. I would probably give it a little bit of an arch. She's got quite a sort of a diamondy shaped face there. It's hard to tell because she's got a big smile on her face. You know, and normally I want no expression, and then I'll bring it in. So it's hard to do it. So for her, it's very hard to know what a real expression is on there. So I can draw something on there, but I would say, you know, again, just sticking with my rules there, I'm going to go with the eyebrow, what I can see, and I don't know, I'm going to give a bit of this high cheekbones there, I'm going to give a bit of a cat eye, something like that. And I think...
Actually, that does look really nice.
Something like that. I think I would give her a little bit oversized. She's got that sort of Scandinavian look about her.
Beautiful big eyes.
Yeah, so I want to be big and open and thin.
Yes.
That's what I go for. I should try to as best thin as I can with this.
Now, when I said on Viking.TV last week that we were going to talk to you, a gentleman sent us from the States. He's just one of our viewers. Hello. I think it's Mark, I think. And he said, I'm thinking of new glasses.
Right.
What would you do with me?
You see, Mark, those glasses are doing nothing for you. I mean, it's a disaster. Honestly, what you really need. So, I mean, it's a disaster. This is.
Sorry, Mark.
If I was seeing you here,
a disaster.
If I was seeing you here, we'd have a lot of fun. Look. You see how see the brow line?
Yeah.
These are actually bending upwards, and his brow line is arching down. It's flat. He's got very short hair. We need to put a bit of presence in the glasses. Yeah. If I put Mark into a nice, strong black frame, or even he's got blue eyes. I can see his natural colouring, sort of a dark brown. So I might go for a nice, nice dark taut, nice dark tortoise brown, and I want to have it in matte. Okay, it's a little bit masculine. I mean, we could go blue. Because you look good in blue. Blue eyes on a guy almost always want to do blue. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull a frame. No, I'm going to pull a frame out. 1 second.
Mark.
That one there, and here. Right. Here we go. Right, Mark.
Oh, nice. Oh, I see.
This,
very good. Yeah.
this is for you, Mark. I'm going to send this to you.
It's a
there we
lovely
are.
subtle blue.
I guess, if my name isn't Tom Davies, that this is going to fit you. Okay? We're going to send this over. I need to see it on. You have to tweet. You have to not tweet. I don't do Twitter.
We'll send them.
I'm going to send them. I want to see a picture.
Yeah,
you have to send it over. Okay? It might be a bit big. Okay? You've got a broad head there. You've got your pupils. It's called pupil distance. It's quite wide. When your pupils are wide, one of my tricks is for guys, especially, is a flat top. Okay? So if you look for me, for example, my eyes now look quite close in the centre. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes,
Okay?
there is a difference.
It's a little visual trick, but what we'll do is I can see you've got sort of a wider PD, quite wide there, and this frame is what would look good. Or you've got something like this. I mean, again, Mark, I'd have 2 frames. This is a chunky side, so I'll try and model it for you, but sort of thicker side on there, and the thicker brown. This is a great frame for you, being sort of relaxed and a little bit of presence, not this thin metal frame, something chunky and thick like that. It's going to make you look younger, which is always what we want. Or this is going to be a little bit more conservative.
I love those frames though. The tinge of blue is gorgeous.
So it's got a lovely sort of smoke blue. This is a Japanese company that makes this acetate. It's 80% wood. It's very stiff, so it won't lose its shape. I mean, the raw material on this is 30 times more expensive than the glasses you were telling me about you bought on the internet. Yeah. Just the raw material. There's material, and this material is 80% wood.
It looks quality.
In 3 years' time, this will look exactly the same. Whereas glasses you buy which are cheaper in 3 years' time will look like worn out and look like crap. And that's no good if you put expensive lenses in. So Mark, that's one there, and I will just draw it on you just because I've got you here, following my rules.
So again, that's quite strong top.
Yeah, strong top line, and I'm going for a little bit of oomph in the design. All I'm doing here is, like, all of this is about following the lines of your face. On the outside line there. There we go, like that. Okay, there we go. There. So.
Yeah.
It's
stronger.
It's stronger. It's not the nicest way to do this with a pen like this, but if you imagine that in this smoke blue that will just pop off your eyes, and I want a little bit thinner there, a little bit of strength all round, it won't look overbearing like this sketch does. That's
that lovely subtle blue.
Yeah, it is. It'll pop out the colour in your eyes. If you're wearing jeans, you're wearing a blue shirt. I do, yeah.
Come on again, then. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. It does. It's a lovely frame.
Yeah, it's a lovely colour, lovely frame.
Pops out. Goes with your jacket and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pair of these in this colour.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is buffalo horn covered in salmon skin, and this is when I'm trying to look like a spectacle designer. But this here, I have the same frame in this blue, and I love wearing it with a blue suit, with blue shirt, blue t-shirt. It's relaxed, it's friendly. You've got a polo shirt on there. This is definitely the frame for you. So my sketch is really just showing the shape.
Yeah, but I think overall you've passed the test. You've passed your own test.
Oh, thank you.
Which is reassuring in a way, isn't it?
It is reassuring. I feel, I'm a bit relieved, actually.
So, are you all over the world? I mean, we've got lots and lots of viewers watching all over Europe, but particularly America. Are you in America?
Yeah, there's around 600 opticians who sell my product in America. You can go on my website and search for somebody who sells them. Yeah. That's including the bespoke service. But yes, Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, Netherlands, Finland. I mean, literally. I mean, Africa, Australia, everywhere.
So, and do you ever go over to those countries to do consultations like you've just done for me?
I tend to do it very rarely these days, but I'll do 2 or 3 events in America a year where people will come in and see me because I've got quite a lot of international customers who come here, and then if they know that I'm going to be in New York, say for example, then I do sort of book in that way. But I also, for example, next year I'm doing an American tour, and I'm going to tour around about 30 accounts of mine, and we're going to do like 2 to 3 hours in each store. And my record is in one day. I did it in Texas. In Austin, Texas, I visited 3 opticians and I bespoked 120 people.
Wow.
In one day. So I started at 8 o'clock in the morning, finished at 1 o'clock the next day. It's a bit cheating. But, you know, it's good fun, you know, it's good fun. And you get, you know, to touch so many people's lives in one day and, you know, make all this sort of stuff.
Hopefully enhance their lives as well, because that's what you're doing.
I think a good pair of glasses can change your life.
Let's hope you've changed mine. That'd be fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much.